and welcome to the 1988 Beaver County Youth Football League Championship games, where tonight the unbeaten Rochester Rams take on the equally unbeaten West Allegheny Indians to decide the 1988 Midget Champion. Hello, I'm Mark McCouga for Rhino Sports. West Allegheny, under the direction of head coach Joe Nestor, they won the National Conference this year with a perfect 8-0 mark. The Indians have an interesting story. In 1986, they won the Termite Division Championship. Last year, this same team won the Mighty Mite Division. And this year, they go for their third in a row at the midget level. The Indians are led by quarterback Tony Cherico and running backs Jason Medved, Joe Nestor, and Brian Cornell. Last week, West Allegheny defeated Monaca 6-0 to earn their right in the championship game. On the other hand, the Rochester Rams, under head coach Charles Berg, have constructed an awesome offensive attack led by quarterback Sean Edge and running backs Damian Council, Brian Burton, and fullback David Mercier. The Rams romped through the regular season, and last week they defeated Aliquippa to cruise into the championship game. It's a battle of the unbeatens, only on Rhino Sports. The respective captains are meeting at midfield for the traditional coin toss. Captains for Rochester, Damian Council, Sean Edge, Brian Burton, and David Mercier. For West Allegheny, the captains are Tony Cherico, Brad Poole, Jason Medved, Joe Nestor, and Brian Cornell. West Allegheny has won the toss and they elect to receive. And we're set for the opening kickoff.
Mercier will kick.
David Mercier puts the toe into it. The ball's going to be fielded by number 33, Brian Cornell. Cornell looks to get to the outside. He's finally pushed out of bounds by number 11, Damian Council. And that's where West Allegheny will take over 1st and 10.
Indians with a football, first down. Ball on the 41-yard line, first down.
Tony Cherico looks over the defense, a split formation. Cornell goes in motion to the right. The give is up the middle to Joe Nestor. Nestor surges forward for a pickup of 3 yards on the stop for Rochester, number 22, Sean Edge.
That was Nestor, the ball carrier, brought down by Griffin. 2nd down, 6.
2nd down and a short 7. The ball at the 44-yard line of West Allegheny. The give is once again to Nestor. Nestor off the left side. He's tripped up by number 66 for Rochester. That's Brandon Bynum. It's going to bring up a 3rd down for the Indians.
Third down and 2.
A big 3rd down play. Power eye to the right. The give this time is to number 33, Brian Cornell. Cornell's going to be very close to the 1st down.
Cornell with the ball.
Unstacking for Rochester, number 34, David Mercier, and number 42, Paul McCray. And the Indians do pick up the 1st down. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the West Allegheny Indians.
Ball in Rochester territory on the Rochester 48-yard line.
West Allegheny, opening drive. 1st down. The give is to Nestor on a counter play, but he's wrapped up beautifully. First there for Rochester. Defensive end number 83, Dan Summers, with help from number 66, Brandon Bynum. A big play by the Rochester defense. Nestor will lose 4 on the play. It's going to be a 2nd down and 14 yards to go.
2nd down, 13.
The loss puts the Indians back in their own territory. They give this time is to Brian Cornell. Cornell picks up a couple yards in the middle of the offensive line. On the stop, number 24, Bryan Burton for Rochester. It's going to be third down once again for the Indians.
Third down and 9.
Nine yards to go for another West Allegheny first down. Jericho, his first pass attempt. He lofts the ball up in the air. His receiver tries to come back. The referee signals incomplete. Incomplete, the pass was intended for number 23, Jason Medved. That's going to bring up the first fourth down of the afternoon. Jericho drops back in punt formation.
Back to return is Council and Burton.
Good snap. Penalty flags go up. Jericho gets the punt away. The ball bounces out of bounds at approximately the 33-yard line. Let's wait and see what the flag's all about. Illegal procedure against West Allegheny. The Rams have accepted the penalty. That'll move West Allegheny back to their own 48-yard line. Once again, Jericho sets himself in punt formation.
Sullivan and Council back to receive. Jericho going to punt. Gets the punt away.
Gets a fine boot away. It's going to be fielded by number 11, Damian Council. Council on the move. Gets to the outside. Damian Council tripped up at his 48-yard line. A wise decision by Rochester to accept the penalty. Instead of having the ball at their own 32, the Rams take over first and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Rochester will have the football, first down, on the 48-yard line.
So after Damian Council's fine return, the Rams, their first offensive possession of the ball game. Fumbled snap. They give us to Mercier. Mercier surges forward for 2 yards. On the stop for West Allegheny. On the bottom of that pile, number 23, Jason Medved. Second down. They give up the middle.
Burton.
This time, let's wait for the players to unstack. The give once again is to Mercier. Mercier picks up 3 yards on the play. It's going to be a third down and 5.
And Gruga. For the Rams.
Wishbone formation. They give us to Bryan Burton, his first carry. Burton spins his way forward. He'll pick up 3 on the play. It's going to bring up a fourth down and 3 yards to go. The ball on the West Allegheny 41-yard line.
Ball's on the West Allegheny 41-yard line.
Fourth down, 2 yards to go. The give is to Mercier. Mercier stacked up, and I don't think he made it. West Allegheny will take over first and 10. The big defensive play made for West Allegheny, number 77. Brett Reed was the first man there. And the Indians take over first and 10.
West Allegheny takes over the ball, first down. Ball on their own 39-yard line.
Jericho and the Indians from their own 39-yard line. The give is to Brian Cornell. Cornell cuts upfield, puts his head down, pounds his way for an extra 3 yards. It's going to bring up a second down and 4. Credit Cornell with a 6-yard run.
Brought down by Council and Griffin. Second down and 3.
5 minutes and 12 seconds remain here in the first period of play. There is no score. They give.
Straight ahead.
Up the middle this time. It looked like number 23, Jason Medved. Medved met by the middle of the Rochester line. He'll pick up 1 yard on the play. Going to bring up a third down.
Mercier and Getman made the stop.
Third down and 3. Split backfield. The pitch out goes to Cornell. Cornell trying to get to the outside. He's stacked up. Rochester comes up with a big defensive play. First there, number 24, Bryan Burton, with help from number 30, Bob Goatman, and number 42, Paul McRae. West Allegheny will once again be faced with a fourth down.
Fourth down for the Indians. Fourth down at about 6. Jericho dropping back in punt formation.
For the second time this evening, Jericho drops back in punt formation, standing at his own 32-yard line. The kick is away. It's a high punt. Once again fielded by Council at his own 33-yard line. Council up the middle. A fine tackle by number 33, Brian Cornell, with help from number 25, Steve Zadrozny. And the Rams will once again take over 1st and 10 for their second possession. The ball on their own 41-yard line.
Rochester with a football. First down on the 41. Their own 41.
The running clock shows 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Edge turns, gives to Mercier. Mercier upended after a 3-yard pickup. On the stop for West Allegheny, number 44, Mark Druga. Mercier looked to be hemmed up in his own backfield. He got away, went forward, and Druga finally makes a stop for West Allegheny. Second down and 7. I formation, power eye to the left, edge for his first pass attempt. He's looking downfield for Council, just out of Council's reach at the 38-yard line. On the coverage, number 33, Brian Cornell. It's going to be a third down for the Rams.
Jericho covering on a play along with Cornell. Brings up third down for the Rams.
Third down and 7. Scott Brothers is the center for Rochester. Sean Edge, and it looked as if West Allegheny jumped off sides. That's going to give the Rams 5 yards. It's going to bring up a third down and 2. And that is the call. Offsides against West Allegheny.
West Allegheny called.
That puts the ball at the 49-yard line of Rochester.
Ball up to the midfield stripe. Third down and 2.
Power eye to the right. The give is to the eye back, and that's number 34, David Mercier. Mercier picks up 3 yards on the play, and Rochester picks up their first down of the evening. Mercier does pick up the first down. The Rams set up shop at the West Allegheny 48-yard line. The give is to Burton to the outside. Burton cuts up field. He's drugged down from behind, but not before. Brian Burton picks up 4 yards on the play. Going to bring up a second down and 6 yards to go.
And Cole.
Second down. Edge rolls to his right. A swing pass out to Brian Burton. Burton eludes one tackler. He pulls over another tackler. Brian Burton, a fine run all the way down to the West Allegheny 44-yard line. A pickup of 6 yards on the play. Brian Burton took the swing pass from Edge. Got to the outside, used the straight arm to elude one tackler, then bowled over Tony Jericho, finally brought down by Brian Cornell. There is a penalty flag down on the field. And they're going to talk to the West Allegheny captains. Usually in that situation, that penalty flag indicates holding. And that is the call. Holding against Rochester. That'll move the Rams back 10 yards.
Ball back to the
all the way back to their own 45-yard line, bringing up a second down and 16 yards to go. The Rams started this drive at their own 41-yard line. After the penalty, the ball resting at the 45. Edge once again, back to pass. He has good protection. He gets the ball away. Intended for Burton and tipped away at the last minute. On the coverage, once again, number 33, Brian Cornell. It looked as if Burton was going to make the catch. Cornell tipped it away at the last second. It's going to bring up third down, and once again, 16 yards to go for Rochester.
First up, Rochester, third down.
Sean Edge looks over the defense, split backfield. Edge drops back to pass once again. He's being chased by Midget. He's going to be pulled to the ground by Jason Midget. A big defensive play once again for West Allegheny. The Rams are going to be faced with a fourth down and a country mile to go. Midget put the pressure on Edge. Edge could not get away. And the Ram quarterback is sacked for a 14-yard loss. It's going to be fourth down for Rochester. Fourth down. There looks to be some confusion. West Allegheny has everybody up on the line. There's movement on the line of scrimmage. And the call will go against Rochester. Offsides against the Rams. So a drive that started with so much promise has ended in disaster. Fourth down from their own 22-yard line. A good snap. The punt is away. It's a low kick. The ball takes a Rochester bounce. And finally dies at the midfield stripe. But there is a penalty down on the field. The referee starts the clock, and that'll end the first quarter of play. With the score, the Rochester Rams 0, the West Allegheny Indians 0 in this midget championship contest. As we start the second quarter, Sean Edge back at his own 7-yard line. Fourth down and 37 yards to go. Another good snap. Edge gets the ball away. It's a short kick. Takes a Rochester bounce. Rolls out of bounds at the 44-yard line. So West Allegheny takes over in excellent field position in Rochester territory.
Ball at the 44-yard line. West Allegheny.
First down, 10 yards to go. The Indians with their third possession. Nestor goes in motion. The give is to Joe Nestor. Nestor picks up 4 yards on the play. It's going to be a second down on the stop for Rochester. You've heard this name before, number 42, Paul McRae. Let's credit Nestor with a 1-yard pickup. Second down. Split backfield. Nestor once again goes in motion. There's a fumble on the play. Cherico picks it up, but he's going to lose a couple yards. On the stop for Rochester, Bob Goatman with help from number 24, Brian Burton.
And Getman. Third down and 11.
So both teams making mistakes early in this contest. Third down. The pitch out goes to Cornell. Cornell trying to get to the outside. He breaks one tackle, he can't break two. On the stop for Rochester, number 11, Damian Council, with help from David Mercier. West Allegheny is going to be faced with a 4th down and 11 yards to go. Cornell picked up 1 yard on the play.
Churko in punt formation. Council.
Cherico once again set in punt formation. It's a high snap. Cherico, the ball gets away. He scoops it up. He's scrambling to his right. He throws the ball intended for Cornell and broken up beautifully. On the coverage for Rochester, number 48, Shane Keeling. And the Rams will take over. Rochester has the ball 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line. The high snap, Cherico. A heads-up play, picked up the ball, rolled to his right, looked to throw to Cornell, but the pass was broken up by Keeling.
That was Keeling.
1st and 10 for the Rams. 7 minutes, 48 seconds remain here in the first half.
Rochester with a football.
Split backfield. They give up the middle to Mercier. Mercier picks up 2 yards. Brought down on the play by number 91, Jason Sargis.
Brought down by Sargis and Franchek. 2nd down, 9.
Rochester has not been seriously tested all year long. They're in a struggle here this evening. They give to Mercier. Mercier fights his way for 6 yards. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 7.
Brought down by Poole.
On the stop
Along with
for West Allegheny, number 23, Jason Medved.
And Cornell all in on that stop.
Two plays for the Rams. 2 carries for Mercier, 3rd down, 3 yards to go. The ball on the 47-yard line. This time they give us to Burton. Burton stacked up immediately. He won't pick up any yards on the play. It's going to be a 4th down on the bottom of that pile. Number 77 for West Allegheny, Brett Reed, with help from number 91, Jason Sargis, and number 58, Kevin Coates.
Brings up 4th down and a long 2.
4th down. They give once again to Burton. Burton gets away from one tackler. Brian Burton is gone. A 47-yard run. Brian Burton goes into the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown for the Rochester Rams. West Allegheny looked as if they had Burton pinned up in his own backfield. He got away and went untouched. 47 yards out of nowhere. The Rams explode on the scoreboard. They lead 6-0. Rochester draws first blood. The Rams go for one. They give it to Mercier. He's brought down in his backfield. A beautiful defensive play made by number 32, Joe Nestor. So the score remains Rochester 6, West Allegheny 0.
Like number 32, Nestor, making the tackle on the play. So the scoreboard will read Rochester 6, West Allegheny nothing. Nestor and Cornell deep. Mercier will kick.
Mercier tees it up. It's a line drive kick fielded by Cornell. Cornell out over his 30-yard line. A nice move. Brian Cornell out to the 37-yard line. West Allegheny takes over with 6 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in the first half. The ball resting at their own 38-yard line. The Rams drive covered 54 yards in 4 plays. It took 1 minute and 35 seconds before Burton romped 47 yards to give the Rams the lead. 1st and 10, Cornell in motion to the right. Cherico back to pass. He feels pressure and he's going to be sacked. On the sack for Rochester, number 74, Wade Sarver. Sarver comes up with the big play. Cherico will lose 9 yards on the play, 2nd and 9. Sarver from his right end position. Cherico never saw him. He makes the big sack. The Ram defense fired up here in the second quarter. After the sack, the ball is at the 29-yard line. Split backfield. Cherico turns, gives the Nestor on the power play. Nestor had an opening. It's quickly closed up on the stop for Rochester. There's Sarver there once again. And also getting up from the pile, number 42, Paul McCray. It's going to be a third down. Let's credit Nestor with a pickup of 3 yards on the play. Third down and 16. The Indians break the huddle. Split formation. It looked like movement on the front line. Penalty flags go up. It's going to cost West Allegheny 5 yards. The illegal procedure is the call against the Indians. Third down. 21 yards to go. Split formation. The ball now at the West Allegheny 27-yard line. This drive started at their own 38. Cherico back to pass. He has a man. It looked as if he slipped and fell, but there's a penalty flag down. That usually means interference. And the call is going to be interference against Rochester. That'll be a first down for West Allegheny. Cherico dropped back to pass, was looking for Cornell. It looked as if Cornell had just slipped and fallen to the turf, but the referee calls interference against Rochester. First and 10. The ball is going to be at their own 42-yard line with 4 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the half. A big break for West Allegheny. Wishbone offense. The give is to the second back, Joe Nestor on the counter play. Nestor picks up 2 yards on a play, brought down by number 56, Matt Schaefer, with help from number 48, James Keeling. And there's another penalty on the play. This time it's going to be holding against West Allegheny.
That's Cisco and Tom Stetzer.
Rochester in a 5-4 defense. Cherico gives it Cornell. Cornell pulls up, he's going to throw. Looking downfield, he had a man. Could not hold on. Number 25, Steve Zadrozny. Zadrozny could not hold on to Cornell's halfback pass. It's going to bring up a second down. In all fairness to Zadrozny, Cornell's pass was to the inside. It would have been a very difficult catch to make.
Second down and 20.
Second down. West Allegheny comes out with a double wing formation. The lone setback is Jason Medved. Cherico drops back to pass. It's a draw play. A draw play to Jason Medved. He puts his head down, pounds forward for a pickup of 8 yards on the play. On the stop for Rochester, number 11, Damian Council. But not before Jason Medved picks up 8 yards. Bringing up a third down. 12 yards to go for a first down for West Allegheny. The ball resting at the 40-yard line. Split backfield. Cherico drops back to pass once again. He feels pressure. He sets up the screen, but Brian Cornell could not hold on. Cherico set it up beautifully. He dropped back to pass, waited till the last second, flipped the ball over to Cornell, but Cornell could not hold on. Going to bring up a 4th down with 2 minutes and 46 seconds remaining here in the first half. Rochester leads this championship contest 6-0.
Jericho in punt formation.
Jericho in punt formation.
Gets the punt away.
It's a high kick. The ball gets over Rochester's head, and it's finally down by Cornell. That's where Rochester will take over from their own 34-yard line, 1st and 10.
First down. Ball on the Rochester 36-yard line.
Except for Bryan Burton's 47-yard touchdown run, the West Allegheny has contained Rochester all evening long. The give once again to Burton. Burton breaks 1 tackle, 2 tackles. Bryan Burton still on his feet. Finally brought down, and a penalty flag on top of that. That'll be piling on against West Allegheny. Tack on another 15 yards to Bryan Burton's beautifully executed 8-yard run.
Brought down by Cornell and Midget.
This Rochester team has so many weapons. Damian Council, quarterback Sean Edge, David Mercier, and of course number 24, Bryan Burton.
The West Allegheny. That'll put the ball on the Indian 44-yard
Burton's
line.
run plus the penalty moves the ball all the way into West Allegheny territory at the 44-yard line. The give is to the upback, number 42, Paul McCray. McCray picks up 2 yards on the play. On the stop for West Allegheny, number 23, Jason Medved.
That was McCray, the ball carrier. Second down.
2nd down, let's call it a long 7. Burton in motion to the left. The give is on a counter play to Mercier. Mercier has some running room. He's brought down once again by Jason Medved. Mercier looked as if he was going to have some running room. Medved closed the gap quickly. Mercier picks up 4 yards on the play. 3rd down, 4 yards to go. They give to Bryan Burton. Burton looks to get to the outside. He's brought down finally by Brian Cornell with help from number 25, Steve Zadrozny. Burton's going to be very close to the 1st down.
We got an official timeout for a measurement.
The referee spots the ball. He calls for the measurement. And it is. It's a 1st down for the Rochester Rams. With 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining in the first half, the Rams continue their drive. 1st and 10, the ball at the West Allegheny 34-yard line. The Rams looking to add to their 6-0 advantage. The give is to Mercier. Mercier gets to the outside. He picks up a block. Mercier tripped up at the 22-yard line. David Mercier around the right end. Picked up a block, but there is a penalty flag down on the field. And the call looks as if it's going to once again go against the Rochester Rams. Clipping is the call. That'll negate David Mercier's fine run. So instead of a 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line of West Allegheny, Rochester finds itself with a 1st and 16 at the 40-yard line. Burton comes in motion. Edge back to pass. He looks out for Burton. Burton surrounded by 3 West Allegheny defenders. The pass was too high. It's going to be a 2nd down. Throughout the first half, both teams have moved the ball, but penalties have hampered both teams' performances. Edge once again back to pass. He's looking downfield. He throws long. The ball is tipped and it's picked off. Picked off by Bryan Cornell. Cornell coming to the far side. He's wrestled to the ground by number 24, Bryan Burton, and number 83 for Rochester, Dan Summers. But Cornell makes the big defensive play for West Allegheny. Edge rolled to his right, threw the ball downfield. The ball was tipped, and Cornell comes up with the interception. West Allegheny takes over. First down. A mix-up in the backfield. Cherico with the ball. He turns upfield. He'll be stopped for a gain of 1 yard on the play, with 33 seconds remaining in the half. Second down. West Allegheny comes out with a wide slot formation. Cherico back to pass. He's feeling pressure to the outside. Cherico cannot elude the tackle of number 74, Wade Sarver. Sarver comes up with another big play for the Rochester Rams. And that should just about end this first half of play in the championship game. The score, the Rochester Rams 6, the West Allegheny Indians 0. We're set for the second half. Cherico kicks the ball. It's a squib kick. It's finally going to be picked up by Damian Council. Council finds a seam. Damian Council, he's almost brought down. He's still on his feet. Damian Council finally drugged down, but not before. A fine return by Damian Council puts the ball to West Allegheny 39-yard line. Council had trouble fielding the ball. Finally picked it up, found an opening, broke a couple of tackles, and was finally brought down at the 39. Rochester has excellent field position to start the second half of play. Edge brings them out. Power eye to the right. Edge turns, gives on the counter play. Bryan Burton. Burton slips on the muddy turf. On the tackle for West Allegheny, number 12, Brad Poole.
A pickup of nearly 3 on a play. It'll be second down and 7 for the Rams.
Credit Burton with a 2-yard pickup. Second down and 8. Burton comes in motion to the left. Edge drops back to pass. He has good protection. Edge throws long, looking for a man, and it's dropped. It's dropped by Damian Council. Council down about the 15-yard line. He could not hang on to the pass from Sean Edge. It's going to be a third down and 8 yards to go. Split backfield. The give is on the inside counter play to Bryan Burton. Burton is drugged down by number 91, Jason Sargis. Sargis makes the play. It's going to bring up a fourth down for Rochester.
It'll be fourth down and a short 5 for the Rams. The winning ticket for the 50-50 number is 104027. If you have that number, come on up to the booth.
Fourth down. Chuck Berg decides to go for it. The pitch goes out to Mercier. Mercier cuts upfield. He's going to be stopped. He's not going to pick up the first down. West Allegheny once again comes up with a big play. First on the stop for the Indians was number 23, Jason Medvid. He was helped by a host of West Allegheny tacklers. The Indians will take over first and 10. West Allegheny from their own 34-yard line. 8 minutes and 33 seconds remain in the third period. Power eye to the left. The give is to Cornell. Cornell hit hard. He'll pick up 4 yards on the play. On the stop for Rochester, number 24, Bryan Burton, with help from number 72, Kevin Griffin.
Hey, pick up a 4 on the play. It'll be second down and 6 for the Rams. Indians.
The West Allegheny defense has done the job thus far this evening. Now it's time for the West Allegheny offense to come to the forefront to give up the middle. Jason Medved. Medved fights his way for a pickup of 3 or 4 yards. It's going to bring up a third down.
Pickup of a couple on a play. It'll be third down and 2.
Third down and 3 for West Allegheny. Wishbone formation. The give is to Joe Nestor. Nestor tries to get to the outside. He's stacked up by Rochester. On the stop, number 11, Damian Council, with help from number 48, Shane Keeling.
No gain on a play. It'll be fourth down and 2. Again, that winning ticket for the 50-50 drawing was 104027.
Fourth down and 2. And West Allegheny head coach Joe Nestor decides to go for it. Big play. Power eye to the right. Brian Cornell dots the eye. The give is to Cornell. Cornell surges forward. He's going to be close. On the stop, number 34, David Mercier.
He was tripped up by Mercier.
The referee calls for a timeout for a measurement. Brian Cornell on the power play. Looked as if he had a lot of running room, but David Mercier came up and tripped him up. It's going to be close.
Phil McCabe of Rochester was the winner of the 50-50 drawing.
The official stretches out the chain.
Mr. McCabe won $145.
And he's going to be about 12 inches shy of the first down. Rochester takes over first and 10. 6 minutes and 34 seconds remain in the third period of play. Power eye to the right. Edge turns, pitches out to Brian Burton. Burton looks like he's pinned in. Brian Burton breaks 2 tackles. Brian Burton, a 13-yard pickup all the way down to the 31-yard line. Brian Burton's second effort has given him everything here this evening. What a display. Burton looked like he was going to be stopped in his own backfield. Brian Cornell came over, could not hang on. And Burton goes on to pick up 13 yards and another first down for Rochester.
On the West Allegheny 31.
Split backfield. There looks like motion, and it's going to be illegal procedure against the Rochester Rams. So after the 5-yard penalty, the ball now at the 37-yard line of West Allegheny. Burton comes in motion to the left. The give is on the counterplay to Mercier. Mercier is stacked up. West Allegheny rises to the occasion on the stop. Number 25, Steve Zadrozny, with help from number 50, that's Jeff Poole. After the officials' timeout, Mercier, no gain on the play. It's going to bring up a second down. Burton with the ball. Burton high steps his way for 2 yards.
Burton was brought down by
Jason Sargis. He's been playing a fine game here this evening for the West Allegheny defense. He comes up with a stop on Burton.
Third down at 14.
Third down, we'll call it 13 yards to go. The clock continues to roll. 5 minutes and 29 seconds. Edge on the screen pass to Burton. Burton looking for some blockers. Oh, he's tripped up on the play. Number 25, Steve Zadrozny. He just trips Burton up. Burton had a lot of real estate in front of him. That's going to bring up a fourth down and 11. Burton picks up 2 yards on the play.
I'll bring up fourth and 11 for the Rams.
The Rams elect to go for it on 4th down and 11. Sean Edge drops back to pass. He feels some pressure, gets the ball away, and the pass is overthrown. Intended for number 83, Dan Summers. But West Allegheny will take over. 1st and 10, the ball at their own 33-yard line. Right now, Rochester owns the scoreboard, 6-0. On Brian Burton's second quarter 47-yard run. The Indians are looking to come back. Brian Cornell. Cornell, the gutsy little running back for West Allegheny. He picks up 5 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Kevin Griffith in on a stop for the Rams.
The Rams defense has been outstanding this evening. Power out to the right. The give is on a counter play to Joe Nestor. Nestor has some running room. He gets to the outside. Joe Nestor finally struck down by number 22, Sean Edge. And Edge grabbed the face mask on the play. West Allegheny. A big play for the Indians. Joe Nestor took the ball on the counter play. Had open field to the outside. Was finally ridden to the ground by Sean Edge. But not before Edge grabbed his face mask. We'll tack on another 5 yards. That's going to put the ball all the way down to the Rochester 22-yard line. Credit Nestor with a 23-yard pickup.
West Allegheny will have the ball.
So just that quick, Joe Nestor breathes new life into the West Allegheny offense. Power eye to the right. Once again, Brian Cornell dots the eye. He takes the ball off the left side. He'll pick up 2 yards on the play. On the stop for Rochester, number 74, Wade Sarver.
Pick up of about 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
The clock winding down inside of 3 minutes and 30 seconds. 2nd down and 8 yards to go. The give is to Joe Nestor. Nestor on the power play, but he cannot get outside of number 74, the Rochester right defensive end. You've heard his name often this evening. Number 74, Wade Sarver. Sarver comes up with another big play. Rochester forces the Indians into a 3rd down and 9 yards to go. The Indians desperately need a 1st down. 3rd down and 9. The give is to Cornell, and a counter play. Cornell is met by number 24, Brian Burton, with help from Kevin Griffin. No gain on the play. It's going to bring up a 4th down, and West Allegheny calls timeout. So head coach Joe Nestor talks to his squad. 4th down. 9 yards to go. The give is once again on the counter play. Cornell is met in his backfield and brought down. On the stop for Rochester, Brian Burton and Dan Summers. Rochester is going to take over. They squelch the West Allegheny offensive threat with 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. The Rams take over 1st and 10. Rochester survives the West Allegheny scare. The give is to Council. Council slips and falls. On the stop for West Allegheny, number 32, Joe Nestor. Council loses 2 on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 12 yards to go. I formation. The give is to Mercier. Mercier stacked up. He struggles forward. He'll pick up 1 yard on the play. Going to bring up a 3rd down, and let's call it 11.
Looks like number 58, Kevin Coates on the tackle. Pick up of about 1. It'll be 3rd down and 11 for the Rams.
The Indians need to keep Rochester pinned down here in their own territory. 3rd down. They give us to Brian Burton. Burton looks like he has some running room. Brian Burton still on his feet. He's going to be brought down at the 32-yard line. But but there is a penalty flag down on the field. Bryan Burton got to the outside, turned on the speed, was finally brought down at the 32, but the penalty is illegal procedure against Rochester. Another costly blow via the penalty flag. That moves Rochester back 5 yards. Third down, 16 yards to go. The ball at the Rochester 14. The give is up the middle. Burton trying to get to the outside. He's tackled at the 21-yard line. He's tackled by number 25, Steve Zadrozny. It's going to be 4th down and 10 yards to go for Rochester.
Pick up of about 6 on a play. It'll be 4th and 10.
The clock reads 56 seconds in the third period.
For West Allegheny is number 9.
Sean Edge standing at his own 11-yard line. The snap is high. The snap gets over Sean Edge's head. Edge picks it up at the goal line. He's swarmed under by West Allegheny, and it's a safety. West Allegheny gets on the scoreboard. Credit the safety to number 91, Jason Sargis, and number 23, Jason Medbit, in on the stop for West Allegheny. The ball got over Sean Edge's head, rolled down to the goal line. Edge alertly picked up the ball, but he could not go anywhere as Jason Sargis was there. He was helped out by Jason Medbit. West Allegheny comes up with a big play. The score, Rochester 6, West Allegheny 2. David Mercier will kick off from his own 20-yard line. He gets a good kick. It goes over everybody's head. The ball rolls down to the 34-yard line. Finally picked up by Brian Cornell. Cornell looking for some running room. He's brought down by number 71, Matthew Schaefer. Schaefer stops Cornell, and the momentum shifts back to Rochester. A big play by that man, number 71, Matt Schaefer. Mercier's kickoff got over everybody's head. The ball rolled all the way down to the 34-yard line before it was finally picked up by Cornell. He went forward and was stopped by Matthew Schaefer. The Indians take over 1st and 10. That really hurt. Instead of excellent field position, they're pinned back in their own territory. Nestor in motion to the right. The give is to Joe Nestor. Nestor picks up 4 yards. He's stopped by number 74, Wade Sarver. And that should just about end the third period of play with the score. The Rochester Rams clinging on 6-2 over West Allegheny. As we start the final period of this Beaver County Youth Football League Championship game, the Indians find themselves behind by 4 points. 2nd down, 7 yards to go. The give on the counter play to Brian Cornell. He's stacked up in the backfield. First on the spot for Rochester, number 24, Bryan Burton, with help from Dan Summers. Cornell loses 5 yards on the play. 3rd down and 12. Jericho looks over his offense. The ball at the 35-yard line. A split formation. Jericho goes back to pass. Again, a screen pass to Cornell. And once again, Brian Cornell cannot hold on. And Rochester will force the West Allegheny Indians to punt.
Incomplete for West Allegheny.
Jericho in punt formation. He gets a high snap. He handles it well. Gets a high kickoff. The Rams decide to let the ball go. It's down by Brian Cornell at the 46-yard line. That's where Rochester will take over 1st and 10.
That ball was down by Jason Medved for West Allegheny. Rochester will have the ball, 1st and 10 on their own 47-yard line. with 9 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the game on a moving clock.
9 minutes and 11 seconds remain in this championship contest. Power eye to the left. The give is to the up back. Damian Council. Council try to get to the outside. He's brought down. Another fine play by Jason Medved. West Allegheny has held this explosive Rochester offense in check all evening long. Second down. Council lost 1 yard on the play. Second down and 11 from their own 45-yard line. Burton on the inside counter. Bryan Burton has some running room. Burton gets to the outside. He's at the 40 to 35. He's finally going to be brought down by Tony Cherico, but not before Bryan Burton explodes for a 24-yard pickup. First down for Rochester. The ball at the 31-yard line of West Allegheny. Burton took the ball on the inside trap. He cut upfield, broke to the outside, looked as if he might go all the way, but Tony Cherico runs him down at the 31. The Rochester offense finally comes to life. First down. Edge to Mercier. Mercier will be stopped in the backfield. On the stop, number 91, Jason Sargis, and a host of West Allegheny tacklers. There looked to be a mix-up on the play. Edge and Mercier collided into each other, and that let the West Allegheny defense swarm in. Second down, 15 yards to go. Power eye to the right. Edge drops back to pass. He throws out to Burton in the flats. Burton at the 44-yard line, over to the 30-yard line. Bryan Burton all the way down to the 36-yard line of West Allegheny. He picks up 9 yards on the play. It's going to bring up a third down and 6.
Brought down by number 32, Joe Nestor. That pass went for about 7 yards. It'll be third down and 5.
Let's check the field position. The ball is at the 27-yard line of West Allegheny. Power eye formation. West Allegheny comes with a blitz. Edge throws the ball out to Burton, and Burton cannot hang on. A frustrated Bryan Burton. The ball was right in his hands. He tried to run before he caught the ball. West Allegheny needs to hold here. Fourth down. Edge back to pass. Once again, he floats it out to Burton. Burton, this time he'll lose one tackler, still on his feet. Bryan Burton down, all the way down to the 3-yard line. Finally stopped by Brian Cornell, but not before. Bryan Burton picks up 25 yards, all the way down to the 3-yard line. First and goal for Rochester. The Rams came back with the same exact play they had run on the previously down to Burton. But this time, Burton did not drop the pass. He eluded one tackler, got to the outside, and made it down to the 3-yard line. Rochester has the ball. They're in excellent scoring position.
He walks off the field under his own power.
Here come the Rams. First and goal. The give is to Burton. Burton off the left side. He walks into the end zone. Touchdown. A touchdown for the Rochester Rams. Bryan Burton, 3-yard run. The Rams increase their lead to 12-2. Burton out of the power eye. Took the ball to the left side. The offensive line opened a gaping hole. And Burton waltzed into the end zone. The Rochester Rams lead this championship game 12-2. David Mercier on to attempt the extra point. Burton's the holder. The kick is up. It's high enough, but it's wide to the left. No good. The score remains Rochester 12, West Allegheny 2. Mercier's kick going to be fielded by Joe Nestor. He fumbles the ball. is picked up by Brian Cornell. Cornell looking for some running room. He's going to be brought down by an avalanche of Rochester tacklers. The Indians will take over 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line.
In on that tackle, number 28, Tom Morgan, and number 66, Brandon Bynum for the Rams.
Rochester's last drive, 54 yards in 7 plays. It took 2 minutes and 27 seconds. Burton capped the drive with a 2-yard run. Offsides. We'll have to wait for the call. It could be against West Allegheny. And it is. Illegal procedure against the West Allegheny Indians. Everything going wrong for West Allegheny.
5-yard penalty is called against the Indians for illegal procedure. It'll be 1st down and 15 from their 27-yard line.
Both teams entered tonight's contest unbeaten. Jericho back to pass, the draw play once again to Medved. This play worked earlier. Medved still on his feet, brought to the ground by Paul McCray with help from number 48, Shane Killing. Medved, he'll pick up 2 yards on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd down. We'll call it 13. Five minutes, 52 seconds to go in this championship contest. West Allegheny needs a big play now. 3rd down, Jericho back to pass. He looks to Cornell. The pass is underthrown. Cornell had no chance for that one. That's going to bring up a 4th down.
Pass was intended for Medved. No gain on that last play. It'll be 3rd down and 15.
Check that 3rd down. Jericho once again back to pass. He has pressure. He's rolling to his right. He outruns Summers. He gets the ball away. The pass is almost intercepted. Broken up by Brian Burton. It was intended for Jason Medved. Now the West Allegheny offense will be faced with 4th down. On 4th down, West Allegheny decides to punt the ball away. Jericho takes the high snap. It's a line drive kick. It looked as if Council had thoughts of picking the ball up. He lets it die. That's where Rochester will take over. 1st and 10. The ball at the West Allegheny 46-yard line.
1st and 10 on the Indians, 46-yard line.
5 minutes and 9 seconds remain. Referee calls for a timeout. And now starts the clock. Power eye to the right. The give is to McCray, the up back. Paul McCray picks up 3 yards on the play. On the stop for West Allegheny, Jason Sargis with help from number 12, Brad Poole. That's going to bring up a 2nd down. Credit McCray with a 3-yard pickup. 2nd down and 7. The Rams trying to take some valuable time off the clock. The give is to Dave Mercier. Mercier up the middle. He'll pick up 3 to 4 yards on that play. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 3. On the stop, number 25, Steve Zadrozny. The give is to Brian Burton. Burton stacked up. A nice defensive play made by number 91, Jason Sargis. What a ball game he's had here this evening, folks. Sargis, from his right end position, has caused havoc in the Rochester backfield throughout. Fourth down and 2 yards to go. If Rochester picks up this 1st down, it should just about seal the victory. The give is to Damian Council. Council fights forward. He's stacked up. It's going to be very close to the 1st down.
He was brought down by Zadrozny.
The referee calls for a timeout for a measurement. No, he says West Allegheny does hold. They take over 1st and 10. Council does not pick up the 1st down. The Indians still have life with 3 minutes and 27 seconds remaining in the game. West Allegheny has the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line. And here come the Indians. West Allegheny trailing 12-0. Full house backfield. Jericho back to pass. He swings it out to number 33, Brian Cornell. Cornell looking to cut back across the field. He's wrapped up by number 22, Sean Edge. Second down. Cornell picks up 3 yards on the play. A 2nd down and 7. West Allegheny in a hurry-up offense. Jericho once again back to pass. He throws the ball out too high for number 25, Steve Zadrozny. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Pass was intended for Zadrozny. In coverage for the Rams was number 24, Bryan Midget. No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 7 for the Indians.
3rd down and 7 yards to go. Jericho turns. He gives to Cornell on the quick. Cornell. He'll pick up 8 yards on the play. He's going to pick up a 1st down, a valuable 1st down for West Allegheny. 1st and 10. The ball resting on their own 48-yard line. Cornell gets up slowly.
1st down on the play.
He's done it all here for West Allegheny.
49-yard line.
Once again from the full house backfield. Jericho back to pass. He has a man, and it's caught by number 25, Steve Zadrozny. Zadrozny picks up 4 yards into Rochester territory at the 48-yard line. 2nd down. The clock at 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Jericho back to pass. Penalty flags go up. The ball is picked off. It's picked off by Damian Council. Council at the 40 to 30-yard line. Damian Council has one man to beat. He goes into the end zone. Touchdown. A touchdown for the Rochester Rams. Damian Council, a 59-yard pass interception return. The penalty is against West Allegheny. The touchdown stands. Jericho went back to pass. Was looking for Brad Poole. The ball was tipped up in the air. Damian Council pulled it down and ran 59 yards into the end zone. The Rams have put this championship game out of reach. They lead 18-2 with 2 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the ball game. The ball is picked off. It's picked off by Damian Council. Council at the 40 to 30-yard line. Damian Council has one man to beat. He goes into the end zone. Touchdown. A touchdown for the Rochester Rams. Damian Council, a 59-yard pass interception return. The penalty is against West Allegheny. The touchdown stands. Jericho went back to pass. Was looking for Brad Poole. The ball was tipped up in the air. Damian Council pulled it down and ran 59 yards into the end zone. The Rams have put this championship game out of reach. They lead 18-2 with 2 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the ball game. There's some confusion on the extra point attempt. This time the kick is going to be attempted by number 83, Dan Summers. Summers kicked his block, and the extra point is no good. The score remains Rochester 18, West Allegheny 2. There's the kick. It comes down to Cornell. Cornell on the fake reverse. Let's check out Joe Nestor with the ball. Nestor brought to the ground by number 84 for the Rochester Rams. That's Stephen Fredericks. West Allegheny takes over, 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line. One minute and 59 seconds. Full house backfield. Jericho again back to pass. He tries to get the ball out to Nestor. Nestor cannot hang on. Brian Burton was there on the coverage. It's going to bring up a 2nd down, and the Rochester second team comes in. A fine ovation for this defensive effort put out by the Rochester Rams. The Rams unbeaten all season long.
Timeout called for by West
They're just
Allegheny.
one outstanding football team. Not only do they possess a great offense, but as they showed here this evening, they also possess a great defensive team. There's a good look at Damian Council. Council's 59-yard interception return ended all hopes West Allegheny might have had. And Brian Burton, who can say enough about him this evening? 2 touchdown runs. Second down after the incompletion. Jericho gives up the middle to Nestor. Nestor puts his head down. He goes forward, a 5-yard pickup. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 5.
Jankowski, John Sullivan, and Shane Edge. Pick up a 5 on a play. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
3rd down. The give is to Brian Cornell. Cornell gets to the outside. Brian Cornell in a foot race. He's going to be chased down by number 10, Brad Varico. Varico saves the touchdown for Rochester. Cornell on the quick, broke across the field, got to the outside, but he was brought down alertly by Brad Varico. 1st down for West Allegheny. The Indians quickly back up to the line. Jericho back to pass. He feels pressure. He's rolling out, still on his feet. Tony Jericho tucks the ball down. He's going to keep the ball, finally run out of bounds. A penalty flag is down on the play.
Ben Gregory and number 20, Eric Pizzella. Flags are down on the play.
West Allegheny head coach Joe Nestor has to be proud of his squad here this evening also. He's assisted by Tony Jericho, Denny Cornell, Ralph Shattuck, and Denny Zadrozny. The give is to Cornell, once again to the outside. Cornell down to about the 22-yard line. Picks up 4 yards on the play. It's going to bring up a 2nd down.
Jankowski and Getman for the Rams. Pick up on 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Jericho back to pass. He throws long into the end zone. It's dropped. Intended for number 82, Anthony Slovic. Slovic could not hang on. A beautiful pass by Tony Jericho. 3rd down.
Incomplete pass will make it 3rd down and 7 with 19 seconds remaining in the game.
West Allegheny. This group of kids have been together for a long time. Cornell, he's going to throw the ball. Gets the ball up in the air. Intended for Joe Nestor. The pass overthrown. It's going to bring up 4th down.
In coverage for the Rams was number 70, Ben Gregory, and number 40, Shane Edge.
Fourth down, 14 seconds remain. The pitch out goes to Joe Nestor. Nestor throws long looking for Cornell. He makes the catch all the way down at the 15-yard line. Nestor took the halfback pass, rolled out, and threw a beautiful pass to Brian Cornell. Cornell down to the 15-yard line, 4 seconds remain. Cornell is still down on the field. The referees start the clock. 4, 3, 2, 1, and the Rochester Rams are the 1988 Midget Division champions of the Beaver County Youth Football League. Congratulations go out to Charles Berg, his coaching staff, and a fine Rochester team. the Rams celebrate the 1988 championship.
Don't forget, fans, to stick around for the presentation of the Joe Lombardo Traveling Trophy.
Recapping the scoring, Bryan Burton started off with a 47-yard run in the second quarter on a 4th down play. That gave Rochester a 6-0 lead at the half. In the third quarter, on the last play of the third quarter, West Allegheny was credited with a safety as Jason Sargis tackled Sean Edge in the end zone. That made the score 6-2. But the Rochester Rams exploded for 12 unanswered points in the final period of play. Bryan Burton on a 3-yard run. And then finally, Damian Council on a 59-yard interception return sealed the victory for the Rochester Rams. The players are lining up for the presentation of the championship trophy. The two teams line up for the presentation of the runner-up and championship trophy. The runner-up trophy given to head coach Joe Nestor. His team had a fine year. They should be very proud for their efforts this year.
Is being presented to the Indians of West
And the championship trophy given to the Rochester Rams, the 1988 Midget Division champions. The players celebrate, and the traveling trophy is now being presented to head coach Chuck Berg.
We know we'll be seeing most of them in there.
And there it is, the Rochester Rams, the 1988 Beaver County Youth Football League champions. Once again, the final score from Rochester Stadium. The Rochester Rams 18, the West Allegheny Indians 2. For executive producer Ed LeDunn, assistant producer Eric Hamlin, I'm Mark McCouga saying so long for the entire Rhino sports team. They give once again to Burton. Burton gets away from one tackler. Bryan Burton is gone. A 47-yard run. Bryan Burton goes into the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown for the Rochester Rams. West Allegheny. Snap is high. The snap gets over Sean Edge's head. Edge picks it up at the goal line. He's swarmed under. Swarmed under by West Allegheny. And it's a safety. West Allegheny gets on the scoreboard. Credit the safety. First and goal. The give is to Burton. Burton off the left side. He walks into the end zone. Touchdown. A touchdown for the Rochester Rams. Bryan Burton. Cherry go back to pass. Penalty flags go up. The ball is picked off. It's picked off by Damian Council. Council at the 40 to 30-yard line. Damian Council has one man to beat. He goes into the end zone. Touchdown. A touchdown for the Rochester